To all the young people and adults, your black moments may not always be caused by you. Your black moments can possibly be caused by someone else. If you look at the story, the men on the boat think that they're going to die. They have thrown their stuff overboard. They have prayed to their different gods, all because of someone who's sleeping on their boat. Now listen, I can't take a lot of time on this, but I have to ask the question, youth, adults, who's sleeping on your boat? Every now and then we have to do an evaluation and see if we have someone who is with us, who is causing problems for us. Sometimes you're in a black moment, sometimes you're in a storm because of somebody who is with you. And look at the story. Even when they found out it was Jonah and he told them to throw him off, they still didn't want to throw him off the boat. Listen, young people, adults, if you have someone on your boat or in your life taking you through a black moment, I know you love them, I know you care for them, I know that you may not want to, but you may need to throw them off the boat. This is not my sermon, I'm just saying. Now, I'm not talking about breaking up relationships and marriages. I'm not talking about committed relationships and friendships and you just send them off. I'm talking about the clowns bringing drama to your life while they are sleeping. I'm talking about the people riding your coattails, hitching a ride, the stowaways, the one who want you to do all the work while they sit back and relax. I won't use any names, but at the school we had a situation. We had to expel a young man, and the reason we had to expel a young man is because a friend of his had him hold his BB gun. So the young man comes to school with the friend's BB gun. That counts as a weapon. You've now brought a weapon into a school. He had no clue, no idea. He didn't realize how serious it was going to be when it was all said and done. He ends up dealing with this. He ends up having a black moment because of someone who is on his boat. If you have a Jonah in your life, you are changing your life. You are getting rid of the problematic things. You are trying to figure out what to do so you can get out of your storm. If you have a Jonah who is just chilling while you are working, bringing drama, throw him off the boat. So the first thing that we learned from Jonah about getting a however was what? That it's black. It's black. And it can be black because of something you did. It can be black because of something someone else did. Or it could just be black because that's the time of life that you're in. Number one is black. Number two is ugly. I know an explanation is still necessary. I'm almost done, so I hope you're paying attention. The black moments are when things don't look good and you don't know the way to stop it. The ugly moments are when you are in it. You are in the worst of it. There's no escaping. There's no forward, there's no back. You have hit rock bottom. It's the ugly moments when we start doing things that we wouldn't normally do. Young people and adults commit suicide in the ugly moments. The black moments are when people start posting angry stuff on Facebook. The ugly moments are when you don't hear from them anymore. People go into severe depression in the ugly moments. People give up on life in the ugly moments. People start having reckless and casual sex, looking for something to feel good in the ugly moments. People go back to the bottle and back to the drugs. People are high all the time in the ugly moments. I know a young man who at 11, he was about 11 years old, used to watch men come over to his house to come see his mother. They would go into the bedroom and do what they do, and then the mother would always have her son wash the sheets afterwards. That used to mess with his head so bad. Those are ugly moments. Jonah is in an ugly moment. He gets swallowed by a great fish, and inside the stomach for 3 days and 3 nights. He is in the stomach with whatever else was in the stomach for 3 days and 3 nights. Doesn't know when he's getting out. This is ugly. But what Jonah does in the ugly moment is interesting. He doesn't panic. He doesn't flip out. He doesn't go crazy. Jonah prays. But it's not the prayer that you think it would be. Jonah chapter 2, 2 through 9, Jonah prays a prayer of thanks in the ugly moment. Thanks for what? He's thanking God that he's in the fish. Why? Because he was going to drown. Jonah knows he messed up. Jonah knows he wasn't doing what he should have been doing, and he knows that the ugly moment saved him from something worse. See, we may not like them, but sometimes we need our ugly moments. Sometimes the ugly moments save us. Sometimes they set us up for better. Young people, adults, do an experiment with me. Think about some of your ugly moments and think about if you are better because you had them. It doesn't take long to get the answer because somebody in here can thank God for that ended relationship. Somebody wouldn't have the job they have now if they didn't get let off before. Somebody wouldn't have the relationships and friends that they have now if they would have gotten what they wanted. Someone wouldn't have been prepared for what's next if that ugly moment hadn't messed you up. Somebody is happy that they never hooked up with that man or woman because they found some stuff out about them later. When I was in high school, the girl I took to my prom, we were really cool. She was great friends of mine. She was at my wedding and everything. We were great friends. But when I first met her, I didn't meet her officially. We just happened to be in the same room. And she was friends with a friend of mine. So I saw her and was like, hey, this is so-and-so, how you doing? And she greeted me, and then we went on about our business. And later on, she asked my friend, she said, oh, he's cute. Does he have a girlfriend or anything? He goes, no. She goes, oh, well, can you give him my number and tell him to call me? And my friend said, no. And she said, well, why not? Why are you acting like that? I'm a friend. I'm asking you for the number. He said, I'm not giving you his number. She said, well, what's going on? Like, this is ridiculous. Why won't you just give me the number? I'm not giving you the number. He said, why? He said, simply because, listen, you like to play guys. You like to have 3, 4 guys at the same time. And if Horace finds out, he'll kill you. Y'all laughing. Okay, y'all laughing. All right. Wasn't a joke, but okay. But the reality is, he knew me well enough to know, no, I don't think this is a good idea. Because if he finds out you got another few guys, he's gonna kill you. Like, he's going to kill you. I'm not saying he's gonna get mad. I'm not saying he's gonna create drama. He will kill you. So she came to me later on, we were friends later. He said that you were gonna kill me. Sounds about right. And she was like, I'm mad at him. I was like, no, don't be mad. You should thank him because she did this for a few years. You should go back and thank this friend because what you thought you should have been mad about was actually helping you in the long run because I would have lost my mind. Listen, everything that's black, it's a humorous story, but here's the point. Everything that's black is not dangerous, and everything that is ugly is not harmful. Sometimes your ugly moments are saving you from something else. Sometimes, as disgusting as your situation is, God is using it to make you better. Jonah sees this, and he prays a prayer of thanks. He tells God that even though he ran before, he's turning back to God now. So this is our year of prayer. So let me say this. When things are black and ugly as ever, remember God. Pray a prayer of thanks. And I know that's hard, but you need to pray a prayer of thanks. Let God know that you understand that you are better off where he had you than where you could have been yourself. Because as bad as things may look, God may be saving you from something. So, number 1 was what? Black. And number 2 was what? And number 3 is however. I know, an explanation is still necessary. Black and ugly as ever, however. I hope you've been keeping up. I'm about to sit down. After Jonah's prayer, the fish vomits him up on land, and Jonah runs to the town of Nineveh, runs around for 3 days, letting them know what God wants them to know. So that he could go, he got out and ran so he could go and do what God had him do in the first place. Jonah was just vomited up on land and is going to the city. He must look a mess. He must look a mess. I'm sure that if someone could have seen him running and wondered what happened to that brother, and Jonah could respond, I got caught in a storm, I got thrown off a boat, I got swallowed by a fish, I stayed in the fish for 3 days and vomited back up on land. However, and now I'm trying to break the world's record in the fastest long distance run just so I can stop a city from being destroyed. See, despite the vomit, he's still running for God. Despite the storm, he's still running for God. Despite the fish, he's still running for God. Despite the black, despite the ugly, he's still getting a however. He probably looks a mess. He probably has evidence of some of the stuff that he's been through. However, listen, 5 minutes and it's a wrap. I just wanted to encourage a young person. I just wanted to encourage an adult in the house that even if things are black and ugly as ever, God can still bless you with a however. Young people, I'm sure that you have your own story. Maybe you had to wash some sheets yourself. Maybe you've done some things you shouldn't have done. Maybe you saw some stuff you should not have seen. Maybe you've heard some things you should not have heard. Maybe you've been touched in a way you should not have been touched. Maybe you know some things you shouldn't know. I mean, I have some brothers and sisters in the house who sold some things they should not have sold and gone places they should not have gone. However, the simple fact that you're here right now lets me know that God hooked you up with a however. Maybe you lost the job you shouldn't have lost. Maybe you've had an illness that makes no sense. Maybe you're struggling when everything was supposed to be taken care of. Maybe it's black and ugly as ever. However, this is why it's important to give your life to Christ, because everyone is going to have black and ugly moments, but not everyone will have a however. But with God on your side, all things work together for good. So I don't know how bad it is. I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know the struggles in your neighborhood or your family. I don't know your financial struggles or your hardships. I don't know your dreams or your goals. But I do know this, that no matter how bad things may seem, if we stay prayed up and close to Him, God keeps finding a way to bring us out better than we were when we started. Is there anybody in here that can praise God because He pulled out a however out of nowhere? Y'all not really with me. Y'all not with me. Y'all not really with me. I think I know why. I think I know why. I think I know why. Maybe Jonah doesn't do it for you. Maybe the story of a man being swallowed by a fish doesn't cut it for you. Well, that's fine. I understand. But there's another man by the name of Jesus who had some black and ugly moments. He was crucified and he died and was placed in a borrowed tomb. And he found himself stuck for 3 days. However, on the third day, he got up with all power in his hands. And his death and sacrifice is what keeps giving us our howevers. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. I told y'all ain't gonna get me excited. I said I'm gonna finish up fast. I told the story before. I'll run through it. I told the story before. I found out about 2-3 years ago that when I was 20, 21, something of that, I had a stroke. I had a pretty severe stroke. I thought it was a bad headache. Doctors thought it was a bad headache. I had all the symptoms. I had lost some speech, lost motor skills, a whole bunch of stuff. Right? I looked like I had a stroke, but nobody thought I had a stroke. So now when people see me, they go, wow, man, that's amazing because you still speak well and you move well and people see me dance and they go, you don't look like anything's wrong with you. The irony to it is, no, I have a little evidence. I do. I have a tad bit of evidence. And most of you wouldn't notice it, or if you do notice it, you think it's something else. I have a tendency to talk, not a tendency, I talk out of the right side of my mouth. Now, Deacon Megas once told me, he said, oh, I thought that was just you trying to be cool. That's all right, but I'll take that, I'll take it. But actually, you know, if I were to shave, you can see my mouth, you guys can see I actually have a crease right here where my whole mouth pulls to the right. That didn't exist prior to the stroke. And I kind of like the fact that I still speak out of the right side of my mouth. I like the fact that I have that tad bit of evidence. It's why I like Christians who look a little rough. I like seeing believers who look and act a little scarred, just a little bit. I know we try to look good. We show up to church like we're taking selfies. You know, we're trying to find the best way to present ourselves. We're at church with our filters on. We're nice and photoshopped. We have on our spiritual makeup, our spiritual teeth whitener, our spiritual Spanx is pulled up real high. But if you look hard enough, sometimes you can see evidence of what people have been through. Sometimes you can look at a young person and see they've been through some things. I like Christians who carry a few bruises because you are a walking reminder that there is a however. When I see you, I know that there is a however. Black and ugly as ever, however. Young people, you might have some kids you didn't plan on having, however. You might have done some jail time, however. You may not have the nicest church clothes, however. You might look good, but you know, you still got a little limp or something like that. However, you may be as put together as you want to be, but there may be a bruise in your wallet. There may be a bruise on your credit report. There may be a bruise on your web browser history. There may be a bruise in your emails. There may be a bruise on that 800 number that keeps calling because they want their stuff back. There may be a bruise in your text messages. However, God still brought you through. He's still keeping you, and he's walking with you by your side. So I'm going to ask one last time, is there anybody that can give a however praise? I'm so glad that God gives us a however. Turn to the person next to you, say however. Tap the person in front of you, say however. Yell at somebody across the church, say however. It may be black and ugly as ever. However, God bless you.